Rajesh, who was Sam's closest friend, came up with the idea of celebrating Arya's birthday in a forest that was owned by Rajesh's family. The forest had been left untouched for a long time, and Rajesh had always been fascinated by stories about it that he heard from his father. However, his father never let him visit. When he found the location in his father's diary, he decided to have a party there with the help of a guide, who used to be the caretaker for his father and claimed to know the place well. However, when Rajesh saw the guide hanging with only half his body, he was terrified. The darkness enveloped the area, causing Susan, a friend of Arya, to scream, and everyone began to panic. The group decided to leave the place and quickly gathered what they could carry. They ran aimlessly through the forest, not knowing the way. From a distance, they could hear the howls of foxes. Rajesh told everyone to stop and walk calmly, and he guided them with the help of a mobile torch. Arya felt like something was following them, but she was too scared to turn around. However, when she heard a noise behind her, she couldn't resist looking back. To her terror, she saw foxes on her tail and shuddered. Rajesh yelled for everyone to run, and they all took off. The pack of foxes pursued them, and Arya and Sam ended up taking a wrong turn. Meanwhile, Rajesh, Susan, and Esruthi ran in a different direction. After a long time of running, Arya and Sam stumbled upon a tree. Exhausted, they spotted a light atop the tree and headed towards it. The light was coming from a small, beautiful house on top of the tree. They climbed up and found a fire lamp illuminating the interior. Too tired to go any further, they decided to take a rest. Arya turned off her mobile torch and was surprised to find a signal. She called her father and told him everything that had happened. However, before she could finish speaking, her phone switched off. Frustration overwhelmed Arya, causing her to break down in tears. Sam approached her, apologetic, but her anger only grew as she shouted and blamed him for all that had transpired. They were lost in the forest, their friends were missing, and anything could have happened to them. They stayed awake all night, surviving in the small house, until the morning sun filled the forest. Their only hope was to escape as soon as possible. On their journey, they came across a small river and drank some water. However, they were uncertain if they should search for their friends or leave the place. They knew the forest was filled with terror. Eventually, they decided to leave and inform the nearest police station about the events. But their progress was hindered by a bear blocking their way. Sam told Arya to run away, and he tried to distract the bear. While she hid behind a tree, Sam found a wooden stick, tried to stand and fight the bear. But as the bear approached, fear overcame him and he fell. Arya rushed to him, holding him. They both accepted this was the end. They embraced and closed their eyes, but before the bear could reach them, an arrow flew from nowhere, hitting the bear and killing it. Sam opened his eyes in shock, seeing the bear fallen with the arrow piercing through its body. A mysterious man with long hair and beard approached Sam and Arya in the forest. He asked why they were alone, and they explained the situation, with their friends being lost in the forest. The man warned them that the place was dangerous and an unknown creature was roaming around. Despite the danger, he offered to help find their friends and welcomed them to his house to rest. The man suggested they rest at his place while he went in search of their friends. They walked to the house and upon arrival, were amazed by its beautiful wooden structure. The man offered them water to drink and some food made from meat. He told them about his history in the forest, living there for years as the caretaker of the private property. Unfortunately, the creature in the forest had taken the lives of the owners and his own family, leaving him as the only survivor. Sam offered to accompany him in searching for their friends, but the man didn't want to leave Arya alone at the house. After he left, they felt relieved to be in the safety of the house. Arya attempted to turn on her phone, but it didn't stay longer. They both decided to take a nap, with Sam opting to sleep in a chair while Arya rested in a room. At night, in the forest, Rajesh, Susan, and Esruthi were still wandering, unable to find a place to take shelter. Suddenly, Rajesh heard a voice and turned to his right, only to see a large, snarling hound with big teeth standing before them. Before they could step back, the hound pounced on Rajesh and began to eat him. Arya woke up from the horrifying dream, taking a minute to determine if it was real or not. She felt thirsty and went to get a drink of water. The entire house was dark, but she managed to find water. When she returned, she couldn't find Sam in the chair. Frightened, she called out his name, but there was no answer. She grabbed a lamp and searched the rooms for him. After some time, she heard a sound from the back of the house. She went outside and saw a small outhouse with lights coming from within. Despite her fear, she approached the outhouse. The outhouse was frightening with a foul odor. She decided to open the door, but was shocked at what she saw inside, causing her to drop the lamp. Just then, she heard someone calling her name from behind, and turned to see the smiling face of the unknown man, who had helped them earlier. Before she could react, he hit her on the head, rendering her unconscious.